All right, so we're going to break down all the different types of words and phrases you can use based on the type of learning style that that person may be. Now, I'm not going to go through and read all of these because you guys have it in front of you and you can go through them, but I'll kind of highlight how can you really distinguish what type of person you're talking to and then determining what phrases or words you want to use with them. So we're going to first touch on the visual person. These individuals love to stand in perfect posture and sit upright. So if you meet somebody and they're in great posture and they're sitting upright, take a mental note. They breathe usually from the top of their lungs, and they often sit forward in their chair. They are very organized, neat, look and dress well, and love things in order. They have a tough time listening to long verbal instructions, usually are thin and work with memorizing things with pictures, photographic memory. So let's just say I was meeting this person and it was for business. I probably wouldn't give them a long, lengthy explanation. I would probably keep my conversation very short. I'd have pictures to show them what it is that I'm either presenting, so a diagram, some form of imagery, because they would like that. And I try to model and match, like I talked about earlier, the physiology of them. So I'd sit upright like them, and I would be leaning in. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of words and phrases that you can use. These visual people want to see, look, view, appear, show, all these different things. So if I was talking with them, I want you to really look at this information. Okay, I want you to see where I'm coming from. If you've ever heard that before when you're talking with somebody, if so, and they say that to you and it comes out, know that right then and there they're visual. And now if you can memorize these points or really just have in the back of your mind to remember some key phrases or statements so that now when you are speaking to them, you can speak their language, right? And the more you speak their language, the more they're going to listen to what it is you have to say. So again, keep these predicates and different language patterns in the back of your mind as often as possible, right? And it's just an example right here. I would love for you to look at this information and tell me what you see. And at the end of the day, I just want to be upfront with you. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So you can see that the words are capitalized here. I would love for you to look at this information. Tell me what you see. And at the end of the day, I just want to be upfront with you. Okay, so a very simple statement, and you can start taking these phrases and words and matching them into different scripts, let's just say if you need them, or you can practice them in front of the mirror or write out a whole different variety of versions. And the more you study, those types of body language and words that come out of people, you now can be equipped to, really adapt, when you're in front of them. The next one is auditory, right? So people who listen a lot, like myself included. Now again, this isn't like cookie cutter where you're one and not the other. Sometimes you're a blend of all of them. So your job is just to pick up on it when you're meeting with people. Okay? Auditory. Often move their eyes sideways, breathing from the middle of their chest. They are easily distracted by noise and learn through hearing. This is me. And it might be you. Who here has like I'll give you an example of me. When I'm reading a book, and something's going on in the background, noise, maybe it's the TV on, or maybe it's, sometimes it's my dog barking. It drives me absolutely crazy. I cannot focus when I'm reading. So when I read, I need to be in a quiet environment. Some people, they could be in the middle of like the busiest street in the city, construction could be going on, and they could sit there and just read and gather all the information, right? They're a different style of learner. So when you look at this, start thinking of yourself, but also start thinking of people who are very similar to that. And then you would know right away, what type of learner they are. You can even ask them a question. Hey, when you read, do you need to be like in a quiet space? Or can you read like anywhere? Like I find I have a tough time reading when there's noise on. If they're like, no, I have no problem reading when there's noise on, then you know that they're not any of these things. If they say, yeah, I feel the same way as you, now you know that they're probably an auditory person, right? This is funny because I do this too. Sometimes move their lips when talking to themselves. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I've done that a lot where I've kind of like talked to myself a bit, right? They need to hear the sounds to understand what's going on, okay? They love music and talking, hence why I talk a lot. To build good rapport, the words and tone of voice can be extremely important. So body language is important, but with them sometimes the words and tone of voice can be extremely important. They love how things sound, and they like being told how they are doing. So, ladies, if you're dating an auditory individual, they like to be told how they're doing, how they look, right? A lot of the times, guys will buy clothing based on what a female has said to them, not based on how they look in the mirror. So if you're in an environment with fashion and you're addressing men or dealing with that, Tell them that they look good. Tell them that that fits nice. Say those words and they're going to more likely buy based on that alone. How do I know? I've been, I wouldn't say at fault, I've been in that situation many times and I've made a decision based on somebody telling me that that looks good on you. Okay, so again, pay attention. So what do they like to hear? As I just said it, hear, listen, sound, make music, tune in. All of these different things and phrases you can put together and really create a lot of different phrases and statements to help win over that conversation. So for example, hey buddy, listen up. I want you to hear me loud and clear. I know that you can do this and I believe in you. So if I'm working with somebody and I want to build them up, I would take this statement if they're an auditory type person and say, hey buddy, listen up. I want you to hear me loud and clear. I know that you can do this and I believe in you. Very, 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 very powerful stuff here. The next type of learner or person that gathers information, is a kinesthetic learner. So they talk and breathe very slowly and respond best to physical touching and rewards. So if you want them to get the message, reach out and touch them in a place that's appropriate. Breathing comes from the lower lungs and from their belly. They are the feeling type people and need to physically go through, things to understand to the best of their ability. So they must do the thing to understand it. If you're teaching these people, let them do it. Let them try it. Let them fail at it. Let them kind of figure it out by physically going through it. Okay? They talk very slowly and like to grasp things. They are a close talker and they love how things feel. So they're going to be probably, if you got a close talker to you and someone that's kind of touching you a whole lot, you know right away, boom, this is it. So you're going to use these types of phrases, feel, touch, grasp, all washed up, boils down. You have a list of stuff here that you can just pull out from this sheet and formulate your own statements and sentences around, when you are communicating with them. So as an example, I really want you to get a hold of what I'm trying to say because I believe that when it boils down, you'll definitely get in touch with how this can help you. So I really want you to get a hold of what I'm trying to say because I believe that when it boils down, you will definitely get in touch with how this can help you. Okay, very, very powerful stuff. Okay, and the last learning style is auditory digital, which is a new age, I guess you'd say, in terms of how people consume information, especially with the way that the world's being developed now and how fast-paced technology is and all the different things that are happening. This is a new breed in its own sense, but they enjoy talking to themselves and memorizing information by steps and sequences. They always want to know if this makes sense and love to make sense of things. So they overanalyze a lot. So when I'm talking with them, these are some of the words that I would bring up. I want you to learn, I want you to analyze and really get a sense of what I'm saying. I want you to experience this, right? They need to go through and break this down accordingly. So as an example, I would love for you to consider what I'm saying here because I believe that you will understand where I'm coming from. So when you're going through all of these different styles, it's going to take some practice. It's not like you're going to watch this video once and you're going to get it. I would say watch this over and over again and really study all this stuff. And then as you're in conversations with people, start trying to listen and really hear this stuff come out. You'll be surprised at how often when you're sitting with somebody and they're a certain way, they'll use like literally everything that's on that little chart in terms of the words and phrases. So now what you can do to build a good rapport with language is try to not only match body language and tone of voice, but now phrases and words that'll go with it. So, give this stuff a try. I definitely fell in love with this stuff when I first learned it, and I've been using it ever since.